So I want to start with you, Representative Fine. Your reaction to this news that the deputies were told not to enter the building without body cams, which they lacked at the time. Your reaction?
Thank you, Laura. Thanks for having me on. Look, the more we learn about this situation, the more obvious it is that Sheriff Israel needs to resign or be removed immediately. That's why I signed that letter, and that's why the Florida House is moving this week to subpoena all records of Sheriff Israel, and we're going to be subpoenaing him and making him come up to Tallahassee to explain himself. What happened is a disgrace.
Mark, I want to go to you on this. The report that we got tonight that some of these radio communications are missing or weren't recorded, which I think are very important, are going to be critical as we try to determine what really happened in the aftermath here. What's your reaction to what we've learned, frankly, just today and tonight?
Well, it's pretty shocking that one, it even occurred, and then two, that you're able to find out any of this information. But what's interesting is Sheriff Israel is a character. He is a politician. Let's not forget that. But it really has nothing to do with the actions of the deputies at the scene. I don't care if they had radios. I don't care if they were on or off. They should have done exactly what they knew they had to do, regardless of who told them what to do over a radio. You ignore that, and you go in and you try to save the lives of those children, and you contact the shooter and kill him.
Terry, let's go to you. We're also learning that in the training of some of these police officers, they were taught a kind of deconflict the situation. So don't rush in, assess the situation first. And Scott Peterson's attorney is also kind of indicating that in some of his comments. We tried to get him on the show tonight. He would not join us, which is unfortunate. But if the police are being trained in a way that is not really helpful in this type of active shooter situation, that also is something we better find out fast.
Laura, that's against any protocol that I've been aware of since Columbine. All officers that I'm aware of are always taught to go in, don't be stupid, but go in tactically, but go in, protect the innocents there. If they're being trained that way, I don't know why they would be trained that way.
Well, one of the reports we also heard, Rep. Fine, is that the deputy on site thought that apparently some of the shooting was taking place outside the building because, again, radio transmission that I think we may or may not have indicated that someone was injured on or near the football field. And so that's one of the reasons he stayed behind the cement barrier or car, and was just 4 minutes went by and people were being shot one after the other in this building. So maybe it was just an honest mistake. I mean, I don't know, but it seems like we should have a lot of this video already publicly available.
Yeah, and if Sheriff Israel wasn't so busy bloviating on CNN town halls, we might have some of those answers. That's why Speaker Corcoran has asked us all to support him in getting Sheriff Israel either to resign or to be removed. That should happen immediately.
Mark Furman, there's a sound bite that I thought of you when I heard this yesterday. I know you know which one it is, but I'll just read it. I don't think we have it ready. But Jake Tapper basically asked him about the Broward County Sheriff's reaction and whether they had done things differently, would the shooting have happened or not. And Sheriff Israel says, listen, ifs and buts were candy and nuts, O.J. Simpson would still be in the record books. Now, the video reveals how Officer Peterson and other deputies responded to this active shooter situation. It's kind of important, don't you think? Now, could it be that the video would be perhaps highly damaging to the sheriff's office and perhaps to the sheriff personally? And back to his appearance at that CNN town hall meeting. Why on earth did he choose to go on TV to make himself the center of this heated political debate? Is that really his role? Then he went on television the next week, just yesterday, to praise his own leadership as amazing. It's just bizarre. And by the way, this wasn't the first time Sheriff Israel ignited controversy for making himself the main attraction. Back in September of 2015, he took major heat for putting his big face on 5 taxpayer-financed Broward Sheriff's office cars. Now, they were called, jokingly, Israel mobiles. And to a lot of people, Well, you just look at them. They were more about politics and policing, although it's a very good rap of that automobile. Now, the cars were to be assigned to members of Israel's community outreach team, which itself had been staffed by, it looks like, just the sheriff's campaign supporters. He got hammered for that as well. Well, just a few hours ago, the Ingram Angle received copies of internal emails from a source close to the Broward Sheriff's Office, which has since been confirmed by a second source this evening by one of our producers. Now, it urges all staff members to vigorously support Sheriff Israel. It reads in pertinent part, at the moment we find our agency up against a flurry of media allegations and a personal attack against our sheriff, Sheriff Israel. Sheriff Israel stood with us, and now we must stand with him. It's important that they know we stand as one. The focus should be on getting to the bottom of what happened leading up to the shooting, not some CYA deal for the sheriff. We need to know about the actions of law enforcement on the day of the shooting. Shouldn't be about saving Sheriff Israel's job, because that would be really pathetic. Now, the governor yesterday announced that Florida's Department of Law Enforcement will investigate Broward County's response to the shooting, with which Sheriff Israel said he would cooperate fully. Well, to start our conversation, guys, I want to share another exclusive report with you tonight. Now, our sources near the Broward County Sheriff's Department are telling us that the deputies who arrived at the scene of the shooting were told not to enter the school unless their body cameras were turned on. And then we found out that the deputies did not have body cameras, so they did not enter the building or engage the shooter. So curiously, police also lost radio communications during the Parkland shooting. And our source claims that radio communication also went dead during the Fort Lauderdale airport shooting in 2017 that he also got a lot of criticism for. So I want to start with you, Representative Fine. Your reaction to this news that the deputies were told not to enter the building without body cams, which they lacked at the time. Your reaction?
Boom! Is anybody seeing what's going on here?